Kevin Durant said that when he joined the Warriors, he actually saw them as an underdog. He said he had no personal relationships with anyone on the Warriors. He never hung out with Draymond Green, nor did he spend time privately with Stephen Curry or Klay Thompson. Going to Golden State wasn't a matter of calling up your buddies and teaming up. He said that throughout the Warriors' history, dating back to the 1950s, they had never been a traditional powerhouse, and nobody really liked them. To him, joining the Warriors felt like standing with the underdog. It just felt like where I belonged. It wasn't Los Angeles, and it wasn't New York. Yes, 10 years later, Durant is still trying to convince everyone that joining a 73-win team wasn't taking the easy way out. Of course, Durant has always had some unique ideas about basketball. In 2013, after watching LeBron James win back-to-back championships, Durant wanted to become more of a ball handler and playmaker. He compared shots to apples. There are 40 apples on the tree. I used to eat 30 of them, but now I only eat 15 or 16. Open threes and post-ups are good apples. Pull-up threes and step-back fadeaways are bad apples. I only eat the good apples. During the 2012-13 season, he increased his passing but never found the balance between scoring and playmaking. Coach Scott Brooks eventually had to yell at him, "We need you to shoot." Durant also admitted, "I don't really watch other players' film, but I look at LeBron's numbers. If he has 30 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists, I can tell you exactly how he got them." His greatest talent has always been shooting rather than running an offense. His mindset has always leaned toward isolation basketball. He viewed shot selection like apples. In 2019, he chose Kyrie Irving, one of the NBA's greatest isolation scorers, as his teammate, while constantly trying to replicate LeBron's model of success. Later, Durant argued with Steve Kerr, believing the Warriors could run motion offense during the regular season but would ultimately need isolation basketball in the conference finals and NBA finals. Yet in 2022, Golden State won another championship by relying on Stephen Curry's off-ball gravity. I don't believe Durant fails to understand Curry's value without the ball. After all, he benefited from it more than anyone. Perhaps he simply doesn't want to admit it. 10 years later, he still insists that the 73-win Warriors were actually the underdog. At the same time, I can't help but sympathize with him. Maybe all he wanted was to join the best team and win a championship. He never expected that decision to follow him for an entire decade. In reality, joining great teams to win championships wasn't considered controversial in the 1980s. Wilt Chamberlain joined Jerry West and Elgin Baylor on the Lakers. Moses Malone joined Julius Erving in Philadelphia. Adrian Dantley went to Detroit. The Lakers and Celtics were loaded with Hall of Famers and nobody thought much of it. Unlike MLB or the NFL, basketball is ultimately a 5-man game where superstars have an enormous impact on winning. What truly changed everything, in my opinion, was the Jordan narrative. Japan's inspirational stories come from manga. America's inspirational stories come from professional sports. Professional leagues are fundamentally about roster construction, asset management, and maximizing competitive success. LeBron James planning his career to maximize his chances of winning is exactly what professional athletes are expected to do. But Michael Jordan created an entirely different narrative. Unlike Magic Johnson, who won immediately after entering the league, Jordan experienced being cut from his high school varsity team, losing repeatedly to the Bad Boy Pistons, and eventually leading the Bulls to a dynasty. The 1990s also coincided with the end of the Cold War, when American culture spread across the globe. The 1992 Dream Team introduced basketball to the world, and Jordan, alongside McDonald's and Coca-Cola, became a symbol of the American dream and individual heroism. Viewed purely rationally, Durant only needed to say one sentence in 2016. After the salary cap increased, several teams could offer me a max contract, but the Warriors gave me the best chance to win and the highest competitive platform, so I chose them. There is nothing wrong with that statement. In the 1970s or 1980s, most people would probably have accepted it. But after the Jordan era, fans stopped looking for the smartest decision. They wanted heroes. More than front office strategy, coaching schemes, or team chemistry, people wanted to see one superstar carry his team to victory. Of course, none of this is Jordan's fault. There's another point that rarely gets discussed. Before Jordan, winning the scoring title wasn't considered one of the league's greatest accomplishments. Adrian Dantley, George Gervin, and Dominique Wilkins all won scoring titles during the 1980s, yet no one believed they were greater offensive players than Larry Bird. Bird never won a scoring title, but he was universally recognized as one of the greatest offensive players of his generation. Jordan changed that. 10 scoring titles and 6 championships turned elite scoring plus winning championships into the ultimate standard for greatness. Many old-school legends even believe that winning scoring titles often came at the expense of team basketball. Wilt Chamberlain giving up 7 straight scoring titles in 1967 and finally winning his first championship remains the classic example. During the shot clock era, only Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaquille O'Neal, Michael Jordan, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander have won both the scoring title and the NBA championship in the same season. Jordan elevated the scoring title into something almost mythical. From then on, every elite scorer had to prove he could score enough to carry a team to a championship. That's why when people talk about Kobe Bryant, they remember 81 points, 62 points in 3 quarters, or 4 consecutive 50-point games. Yet Kobe only won 2 scoring titles, fewer than both James Harden and Kevin Durant. The scoring title wasn't always this sacred. Jordan made it sacred. And the fact that Durant still insists, 10 years later, that the Warriors were historically the underdog tells us something important. Even a player as great as Kevin Durant cannot fully reconcile himself with basketball's heroic narrative. He has to convince people that he joined the underdog, not a 73-win super team, in order to justify his decision. Even though it was the most rational basketball decision possible, he has spent an entire decade defending it. Durant isn't alone. Every superstar accused of taking the easy way out has faced the same judgment, for one simple reason. Michael Jordan set the standard for greatness impossibly high, but Jordan didn't do it that way.